Coming up on Citrus TV News, it's Halloween night. Find out how student organizations across campus are celebrating the holiday.
And students at SU protest a leaked memo from the president that could change how the U.S. defines gender. What protesters said.
And the man accused in the mass shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue is charged with federal hate crimes. All that and more. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
This week marks Remembrance Week as Syracuse University remembers the tragedy of Pan Am Flight 103. Good evening. I'm Jack Watson.
And I'm Anna Azallion. 270 passengers, including 35 SU students, died in a terrorist attack that brought down the flight over Lockerbie, Scotland in 1988. Today,
Remembrance and Lockerbie scholars tied ribbons on the trees in the Orange Grove outside Carnegie Library. The ribbons commemorate the lives lost in the tragedy.
Citrus TV spoke with Scotland's Secretary of State David Mundell about the importance of remembering the Pan Am flight.
I think it's so important that we remember the families, friends of the 270 people who were lost, but we also mark the very positive relationship that's developed between the Lockerbie community and Syracuse University.
And today is October 31st, and that means it's Halloween, Jack. Today also marks the 200th anniversary of the classic novel Frankestein.
Citrus TV reporter Carmella Boykin is live at Schine Student Center with how the work is being celebrated. Carmella?
Thanks, guys. I'm here in Schine Student Center where students, faculty, and staff have been reading Mary Shelley's novel Frankestein as part of the 200th anniversary. It's part of the international program Frankenreads, where universities and organizations worldwide are taking turns reading the entire novel of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which is about 9 hours. I spoke with Professor John Borcher, who says although the novel itself is 200 years old, the content is still incredibly relevant.
In this manner, while an hour's passed, several of my dogs died, and I myself was about to sink under the accumulation of distress. When I saw you...
And readers have been here in Schine since 8:30 a.m. this morning and are expected to continue reading until 7 p.m. tonight. So if you want to catch the tail end of it, you still have a little bit of time. Jack and Anna, back to you.
Thanks, Carmella. Now, Jack, I'm really curious what the weather's going to be like tonight for Halloween and all that trick-or-treating.
Right. When I go to the houses, I don't think they're going to give me candy. I don't expect them to. But here's Amber McElrath with a special Halloween weather report. Amber?
Yeah, guys, it's not looking so good for trick-or-treating in Syracuse. I don't know what the weather is at real Hogwarts, but here in Syracuse University's own Hogwarts, it's 60 degrees and there's light rain. It feels like 59, so not much cooler than the actual temperature, but still, that rain's really putting a damper on everything. And then looking at the current temperatures across the area, it's pretty consistent throughout the area, mid to high 50s, but I think Syracuse is haunted. 60 degrees, warmer than everywhere else, because like I said, everywhere else is in that 50-degree range, although Elmira comes close with 59. You'll have to stay tuned for my full weather forecast where I have some spooky Halloween news, weather-related of course, coming up. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Amber. Now, October 31st festivities continued elsewhere at SU today as the Spanish department celebrated Dia de los Muertos in the HBC atrium. Students were able to celebrate the Mexican Day of the Dead while also learning about programs and clubs the Spanish department offers. And students took to the quad today to protest a potential change to the way the government defines gender. A leaked Trump memo first obtained by the New York Times proposes defining gender as being only male or female, that designation being determined by a person's biological sex at birth. Protesters say students on the quad stood in solidarity with transgender students on campus.
The midterm elections are 6 days away, and the race for New York's 24th Congressional District continued last night with a debate. Citrus TV's Brandon Ross is in studio to break down what happened in the debate and how the race is shaping up. Brandon?
Yeah, Jack, last night saw the second of 4 debates between incumbent Republican John Katko and his Democratic challenger Dana Balter. The big story from last night's debate was Balter aggressively going after Katko. She made a concerted effort to paint Katko as beholden to corporate donors. She said Katko, quote, supports things that make life better for his mega donors because he works for them and not us. The line of attack focused on allegations Balter made in the last debate, saying that Katko changed his vote on an airline security bill after he received donations from groups tied to the industry. The two-term incumbent responded by calling her tactics predictable and defending his voting record. 2 more debates are on the calendar. One is tomorrow at 7, and the last one is Sunday at 5. This all comes ahead of what could be a very close race when voters head to the polls on Tuesday.
All right, Brandon, the election is right around the corner. Who do you think has the edge in New York 24?
Well, there hasn't been a lot of polling on this race, but what has been shown shows Katko in the lead. And considering he's a 2-term incumbent who's won twice by over 20 points, he seems to be a certain favorite at this time.
All right, Brandon, a race to watch. Thank you. And for full midterm election coverage, tune in at 8 p.m. Tuesday night for the Citrus TV Election Special.
Now, 2 utility workers are dead following a helicopter crash in Beekmantown, New York. The Federal Aviation Administration says the maintenance helicopter got caught in the power lines that workers were attending to and caught fire. Police say that 2 others were injured in the crash but were released from the hospital. The FDA is now investigating the crash.
And 8 New York State Catholic dioceses are facing legal action, and Syracuse is one of them. A lawsuit filed earlier this week in the New York Supreme Court is asking the organizations to release the identities of priests accused of sexual abuse. In a statement on Monday, the Syracuse diocese announced it will cooperate with the investigation but did not commit to releasing any names of priests allegedly involved. And commuters in Syracuse may have an easier time getting to where they need to be because today marked the reopening of all westbound lanes on I-690 for the first time since May 2017, which is when construction began. However, a State Department of Transportation spokesperson says the project isn't quite done just yet as the eastbound left lane remains closed.
The U.S. is currently in a blood shortage, but not that many people know about it. Citrus TV's Ally Heath went to the Red Cross's Liverpool Blood Donation Center to find out why you may be seeing their signs around campus more than usual.
Vampires aren't the only ones out for blood this Halloween. The American Red Cross is ramping up its blood collection efforts this fall with extra blood drives. Syracuse University Red Cross account manager Katie Stepanian says it's because they're running low on blood.
Our supply is down. We have had some major hurricanes recently. It caused the cancellation of about 200 blood drives, which translated to about 7,000 units of blood that could not be collected.
The Red Cross has a national network that allows blood to be shared across the country, but Stepanian says it's expensive to ship. And while many people donate after a crisis, the good only goes so far since it takes time to process and test donations to make sure they're safe to use.
Because the need for blood is constant, we need to be collecting every day because blood does expire. And we need to replenish that supply because it is the blood on the shelf that saves the lives of people who need it.
And it's not so easy to restock the shelves without human assistance.
We don't know how to manufacture these components in our blood yet through science. It has to come from a volunteer blood donor.
So whether you choose to roll up your sleeve at a donation center like this one or at a mobile blood drive like the ones held on the SU campus, your donation goes a long way. For some, the hour-long donation process is an easy way to do good. The Red Cross says each whole blood donation can save up to 3 people. And North Syracuse resident and retired EMT Wendy Castaldo says it's how she continues to help her community since she's hopped off the ambulance.
I've seen a lot of bad things, and I've seen a lot of good things, and I know that by giving blood is helping another way of helping save people's lives.
If you want to help out, the Red Cross is hosting several blood drives on the SU campus in the coming weeks, including 2 this week. But the Liverpool Donation Center is open every day. Reporting in Liverpool, New York, I'm Ally Heath, Citrus TV News.
Now, if you missed the chance to donate in today's Halloween blood drive, the mobile donation center will be back on campus on Friday at Sigma Chi. To sign up to donate or learn more about the donation process, visit redcrossblood.org. And coming up, 3 more victims of the shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue are laid to rest as the shooter is charged in federal court.
And the search for the crashed Lion airplane in Indonesia, the latest when we return.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. got it?
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Today, federal prosecutors charged the man accused in a mass shooting that killed 11 people at a synagogue in Pittsburgh on Saturday. The 44-count indictment could lead to a death penalty sentence, but that will be up to Attorney General Jeff Sessions.
And an official from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms says that all of the guns used in the mass shooting on Saturday at a synagogue in Pittsburgh were purchased legally.
3 funerals took place today in memory of victims in the attack. Mourners are shown here in this video arriving at the service for Joyce Feinberg, a 75-year-old former research specialist. Mourners also paid their respects to 69-year-old Irving Younger and 88-year-old Melvin Wax.
University of Pittsburgh students plan to gather this evening to protest gun violence and bigotry. Today, Vice President Mike Pence issued a statement saying the Trump administration is committed to ending acts of hatred in the U.S.
As President Trump and I have made clear, what happened was not just criminal, it was evil, and we will never allow violence or anti-Semitism to take hold in the United States of America.
And new reports say the man who killed James Whitey Bulger in prison was a hitman formerly associated with organized crime.
And sources say Bulger was allegedly killed by a man serving a life sentence for, among other things, murdering a mob boss and attempting to murder a New York union boss back in 2003.
Bulger had only recently arrived at the facility, which was a high-security prison.
The FBI will look into claims that women were offered payment to accuse special counsel Robert Mueller of sexual misconduct.
A spokesperson for the special counsel writes in a statement that they learned of the claims last week. The case is being referred to the FBI for an investigation.
A right-leaning lobbyist tweeted that he would reveal the names of accusers tomorrow.
And today, the chief prosecutor's office in Istanbul confirmed that assailants strangled Jamal Khashoggi and dismembered his body inside the city's Saudi consulate.
The office went on to say that the murder was premeditated. This follows Saudi Arabia's inconsistent narrative on Khashoggi's death, initially denying any involvement and eventually acknowledging that the murder was premeditated.
Turkish investigators are still looking for Khashoggi's remains, which have yet to be found.
As a migrant caravan inches toward the U.S. border, a second migrant caravan has left El Salvador and is moving north.
Yesterday, they crossed the river from Guatemala and reached southern Mexico. The group of more than 1,000 immigrants is about 250 miles behind the first and larger caravan.
And just like the first group, they say the goal is to seek asylum from violence and poverty. Trump said today that he may deploy 15,000 military personnel to the U.S.-Mexican border in response to the migrant caravans. And according to Indonesian officials, divers came close to the black box of the Lion Air flight that crashed in the Java Sea on Monday.
Indonesian investigators now have the general location of the data recorder, but officials say divers could not reach the device, hindered by strong currents and poor visibility.
Right, Anna, and the head of the Indonesian Search and Rescue Agency says they're getting close.
We can see something is like a part
of the body of the aircraft. And also we can hear the ping locator. But we don't see the black box yet.
And staying in Southeast Asia now, as dozens of people are missing after a landslide in the northern Philippines. The landslide was set off after Typhoon Yutu hit the region on Tuesday.
At least 9 people have died due to the typhoon. 4 have been rescued from the landslide, but at least 18 people remain missing.
This landslide in the Philippines comes after another in late September, in which about 24 people reportedly died.
And a Christian woman in Pakistan will no longer be put to death for accusations of blasphemy.
Asia Bibi won the appeal in court today. Blasphemy carries a sentence of death or life in prison in Pakistan.
Bibi was convicted in 2010 after accusations following a 2009 argument with her co-worker about the Prophet Muhammad.
And coming up here on Citrus TV News Live at 6, your weather forecast with weather anchor Amber McElrath. Stay tuned.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. I said I had some spooky weather news for you. If you look here, it's called our future radar. Look how much rain we're going to be seeing. It clears up for a little bit and then it just comes back and it's going right over Syracuse. And in terms of trick-or-treating conditions tonight, it's not looking so good. 44 degrees, so not too chilly, but it's going to be raining basically all night. The showers are ending at 1 a.m., but I don't know anyone who goes trick-or-treating so early in the morning, so you might want to incorporate an umbrella or a rain jacket into your costume. Then looking at the phases of the moon. As you can see here, our last full moon was October 24th. Today we have a 3rd quarter moon. But our next full moon is going to be on November 23rd, so if you're scared of werewolves, you have like a month before they come back out. And then looking at the wind speeds over the next 12 hours, the wind is just going to casually decrease, getting softer and softer. So if you want to ride your broomstick, it's going to be about 4 miles per hour once we get to 4 a.m., just a little bit breezy. You shouldn't really lose control. And then looking at our Thursday planner, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but like I said, rain all day Thursday. It's staying in that mid-40 range, so not too chilly, but it's still going to be raining all day, so be prepared for that. I'll have my 5-day forecast coming up on Citrus TV News. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Amber. We apologize for our earlier technical difficulties, but we now have Citrus TV reporter Carmella Boykin's report on the SU Frankestein readings. Sorry for the technical difficulties again. Now, Tim, what's going on with sports today?
Coming up in sports, I'll tell you one amazing stat regarding Syracuse athletics that has never happened in school history. Plus, get to know an SU basketball recruit that makes his highly anticipated decision tonight. All the details on that and a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Welcome back. I'm Tim Leonard with sports. Well, the good times just keep on rolling for Syracuse football. The first edition of the college football playoff rankings came out yesterday, and Cuse checks in at number 19. 3 spots higher than SU ranks in the AP poll. Remember, this is the first time the Orange have been ranked since 2001. The goal now for Syracuse and Dino Babers is simple. They want to stay ranked.
It was one heck of a contest. Excited about where we're at right now. Our job's not done. Obviously, we're 2-0 in the second part of our season, and we have an opportunity to be better, and we're looking forward to the game against Wake Forest. They're a fine, fine football team. And they're well coached, and we've had a lot of trouble with them in the past, and we understand that.
Next up for Babers and company is a trip down south to Wake Forest this Saturday. The Demon Deacons are 4-1 after crushing Louisville last week. SU looks to get to 7-2 with a road victory. The SU men's basketball team is also ranked, and they too are in action this week. In fact, they play tonight. Moyne comes to the Dome for the final preseason tilt of the year. Number 16 Syracuse already crushed the College of St. Rose in its first dress rehearsal. They officially start the season against Eastern Washington next Tuesday. Remember, the Orange are returning all 5 starters from the team that made the Sweet 16 a year ago. Tip-off tonight is set for around 7 p.m. The ranked teams don't stop there, though, in the women's basketball team. To add the women's basketball team to the list of SU sports that is nationally ranked as well. That became official earlier today. Syracuse opens the season at number 18 in the AP poll. This is the first time ever that SU has had a nationally ranked women's basketball, men's basketball, and football team at the same time. Cuse is also the only school in the country where both their men's and women's basketball teams are in the preseason top 25 and returning all 5 of their starters from last year. This is also a big night for other reasons for SU men's basketball. 2019 recruit Quincy Guerriere is set to make his college decision at halftime of the Knicks game right around 9:20. Very similar to how SU forward O'Shea Brissett made his decision to come to the 315. That's not the only thing these two have in common, though. Both are Canadian-born players. Guerriere is from Quebec. The 4-star prospect is deciding between Oregon, Illinois, and Syracuse. He'll be the 4th commit of the 2019 class for SU. It's the first round of the ACC tournament tonight for SU men's soccer. Syracuse is in Blacksburg to face number 22 Virginia Tech. Cuse has been locked in some tight games lately. They have a pair of double OT ties and a 1-goal loss in their past 3 contests. SU is the 10th seed in the conference, while VT is number 7. Back to basketball now for a full slate of NBA games tonight. The Nets are riding a 3-game losing streak. They'll look to rebound in more ways than one against Detroit tonight because they'll be going against Andre Drummond. The Pistons' big man is averaging just over 15 rebounds a contest, which is third in the entire league. 2-5 Brooklyn is currently 24th in the NBA in rebounds per game. It's a 7:30 start tonight in Brooklyn. As for the Knicks, they are also at home to take on the Pacers, but start a little later at 8 p.m. tonight. New York enters coming off a win over Brooklyn just 2 nights ago, but they are also 2-5 on the young season. Indiana, meanwhile, is 4-3 so far. Victor Oladipo leads the Pacers with right around 21 points per game this season. That game is on ESPN at 8 p.m.
All right, our sports anchor Tim Leonard in studio with us. Tim, what would having Quincy Guerriere do for the Syracuse basketball?
It'd be huge. It'd be their 4th commit so far this year, and he's right around number 50 nationally on 247sports.com, so it'd be a big ad for Jim Boeheim and company.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. We'll be right back here on Citrus TV News live at 6.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. I know we're all singing that Rain, Rain, Go Away song, but unfortunately that's not the case. We're going to see showers today all through Saturday. Sunday it looks like it's looking up, partly cloudy. We're going to have a little bit of sun, but that rain is going to be there for the majority of the week. And looking at the temperatures, it is going to start slowly decreasing as we go through the week. 63 today, which was pretty high, but it's going to get all the way down to 48 on Sunday. But mostly the lows are going to stay pretty consistent. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Amber. Now, racing history was made yesterday. Tatiana Calderon is the first Latin American woman to drive a Formula One car. She took part in a promotional event in Mexico that allowed her to get behind the wheel. The race has not had a female driver start a Grand Prix in more than 30 years. Calderon hopes to compete in next season's Formula 2.
And the Red Sox took their victory lap today after winning the World Series on Sunday. The team cruised through downtown in duck boats to celebrate their win over the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 5 on Sunday night, closing out the World Series. This is Boston's 4th World Series title in 14 seasons. And even NASA is taking part in Halloween festivities. The workers in the Jet Propulsion Laboratory held their annual Jack-o'-lantern competition yesterday.
Yeah, Jack, the event's themes were Disney Pixar's Coco and the heavy amounts of paperwork found in NASA's spacecrafts. The winner is yet to be announced, but you can view the contenders on NASA's Flickr account.
And that's all the time we have today on Citrus TV News. Be sure to check out our website at citrustv.com and follow us on Twitter. For Azallion, everyone here at Citrus TV News, I'm Jack Watson.